Is there something that would make you not go back to restaurants in service-wise?
I don't really meet that many rude waiters. It's rare, and I think I'm so appreciative. I'm a heavy tipper, and I'm so appreciative of the fact that you're going to a place, somebody's going to come, ask you what you want to drink, then they're going to ask you what you want to eat, they're going to bring it to you, they're going to make it, they're going to bring it to you, and they're going to clean up afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just like one of the miracles of the world. It's like when people are complaining, there's a comedian in America who says, people complain about the seat on the airplane they're flying. They said, you're in a comfortable seat, 30,000 feet in the air, going 600 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's one of the most amazing things
amazing.
in human history.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think if you go in thinking that you're going to be okay, and that basically,
If you're let's say you move to a new area and you go to a restaurant, if you're really nice, just nice to the staff, you don't have to tip like crazy. If you're just really appreciative of the staff, they'll treat you well every time you go.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you banned anybody?
yeah, I did once.
Who?
Yeah, I did. He was a guy who worked in the music industry, and I was standing at the pass.
Tommy
and-
Mottola? No.
No, he won't. He was like nobody, but he turned, he said, Ruthie, came up, he said, that was one of the best meals I've ever had. You know, it was just amazing. It was fabulous. It was delicious. I loved it. And then he just turned to the waitress who was standing next to him, a French waitress, and he said, as for you, you're an idiot. And it was like,
Wow.
whoa. And so she turned around and he left. And I followed him down and I said, you know, Simon, I heard you say that.
Oh, it's Simon somebody, right?
Oh.
Okay. We're going to figure this out, okay?
I said, you know,
Yeah, okay.
I said, I heard you say that and you can't do that. He said,
No.
but she is. And I said, and so I said, I guess I won't be seeing you, you know, for a
I
long
think
time,
that's
whatever.
good, yeah.
And he called up and he said to the, you know, to the manager, he said, you know how much, you know, I think Ruthie's just banned me, you know. I think
Yeah.
she just banned me. And he said, well, like, maybe she did. And he said, but you do understand how much money I spend in this restaurant,
That
you know?
is the
And
wrong
that
thing
did
to
not, you
say.
know.
I
And then
know.
he was really upset. He called me the next day and said, you know, he said, am I ever going to be allowed to come back? I'm like, I don't think so, but you know.
Kick it
you
down
know,
the road a
he
bit.
said,
In
how,
10
and then
years,
I
let's
said,
talk.
I did. I
Yeah.
said something like, should we give it a year? He said, you're putting me on the naughty step for a
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
I mean, this became a huge thing, you know, but that was the only time, but you know, those now.
Well, we used to
are,
ban
you know,
people from our parties if they're rude at all to the staff.
Yeah, that's
Forever.
the thing,
And
you
Philip
know.
Green.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Although
Was he rude?
He was awful, our
Yeah.
fashion editor at the time had begged me to have him come to this thing, and I, against my better judgment, I said yes. He was disgusting.
Yeah, my favorite story about banning is about Damien Hirst and his best friend called Ant in the like 80s or 90s. They, you know, the Groucho Club, remember the Groucho Club? And they said like at 3 a.m. they'd close, everybody out. And Damien and his friend were completely, God knows on what. So they found a ladder. And so they got a ladder from someplace in Soho and they climbed up to the balcony on the first floor and they broke a window and they went inside and then they threw up all over the pool table and then they went and they got some more alcohol out of the fridge and they drank that and then they went and they probably, you know, they again threw up, or they took more food in the kitchen, and then they, you know, just broke another thing trying to get into it, and they fell asleep, completely passed out on the floor. And the manager came in the next morning, Marianne, and she looked at them and she said, you know, I could have you arrested for breaking and entering.
I would have.
I could have you, arrested and throw you out for trashing my property. I could have you arrested because you fell asleep here and it could have been a fire. I could have you, she said, instead, you are banned for 24 hours.